Ya kuke?
That's what I did before.
Yes, please sit down.
Some seconds.
Following a meeting with the governors of the North, West, and North Central Zone, Mr. President decided to call for an emergency meeting with heads of defense and security organizations. Prior to this meeting, he had also met with the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum on issues directly linked to the state of insecurity in the nation. Today's meeting was not a very long meeting, but the president looked at certain issues that were presented to him in the last 1 week. Mr. President in particular emphasized that the comprehensive reports he has received from the Chief of Defense Staff and the service chiefs following their recent appointment has illuminated the need for him to look deeper into certain aspects that need to be taken care of. He is particularly inspired and impressed by the way the new service chiefs have started their assignment, with all the operational visits they've made to the theater, where they've been able to address the troops, look into their immediate needs, and come up with immediate, medium, and long-term proposals. Mr. President is going to look into these things with the urgency they require, but he is particularly delighted that from what he has received from the Chief of Defense Staff, there is now a renewed vigor. There is now a willingness on the part of all the operational elements to work together, as well as also working hand in hand with the intelligence organizations. On the issue of kidnapping and banditry, this menace still persists, especially in the Northwest and the North Central zones. Mr. President has been very emphatic. He has stated very, very clearly that this problem must be brought to an end, but using the traditional methods that the armed forces have been trained to deploy. Mr. President has made it very, very clear to both the intelligence and operational elements that their first assignment will be to identify the leaders of these bandits and kidnappers and take them out in order to restore confidence in those areas. Mr. President has said that he will no longer tolerate a situation whereby bandits and kidnappers are the ones dictating the pace and setting the tone and he will not also condone a situation in which our own operations are reactionary rather than being proactive. He has also indicated his willingness to provide all the resources required by our own troops in order to put down these criminals. They must be brought down with all the ruthlessness that is required, and whoever is working in collaboration with them will be brought to book. He has also declared that there will be no adjustment in whatever the National Security Council has already laid out until normalcy is restored. He is also aware of attempts by certain elements working in cahoots with all kinds of people in and out of the country to continue with exploiting the minefields, especially in Zamfara state. A ban has been placed on mining, and that ban has to be enforced. People have to comply with whatever the president has laid out. Of course, we in the intelligence domain are aware that there are individuals and groups who are planning to link up with all kinds of non-state actors in order to frustrate the efforts of government in implementing the ban on mining, as well as enforcing the no-fly zone, so that no rotary aircraft will land, drop whatever, and pick up whatever. That has to be enforced. But I'm also to send out a warning to those people who think they can continue to behave in a manner that undermines national security. Those people are engaging in all kinds of underhanded, unscrupulous, mischievous, and deceitful practices. People who are working with those that are in government, in particular critical agencies of government. We have been able to identify certain areas that are weak, and these areas have to be strengthened so that these characters who are engaging in acts that you can describe as, outright acts of, brigandry, people who are behaving in a manner that portends a lot of danger to innocent lives, have to be fished out. This is the directive from the president. I am to send a warning to those people who think they are in close proximity with those who have the instruments to make the space easy for criminals. Those people who think they have some kind of authority, who are engaging in all kinds of hocus pocus, in all kinds of jiggery pokery or skullduggery, those people will be brought down to their knees. It is extremely important for these people. I'm sending out a message to them. Anybody who thinks he can continue to pull whatever resources he has at his disposal to frustrate the efforts of the central government in bringing about peace and security will have himself to blame. The new service chiefs, as well as the intelligence community and the constabulary forces, have been given directives, clear directives by the president, to target those people who are the ones leading in creating chaos disunity and disharmony. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a routine. Mr. President is very eager and anxious to see what we're doing, and that's precisely what we've come to see him on, to review the situation thus far, and we're on course.
Are we making progress?
Very well, very good progress. You know, generally you find that the situation, when it's getting to the end, it appears that the heat is more. And not only the heat is more before it begins to get cool. So we're on course. And I'm sure you may have observed the movements that we're undertaking, in the last 1 month. And the operational engagement I've also had. That should give an indication as to what we're doing and the fact that we're on course.
So the end of what exactly? Because I know now the military still needs some other equipment to win this war.
Referring to in what sense? I'm saying that our operational engagement, the totality of all our engagement, both in manpower increase as well as equipment increase and heightening operational engagement, the totality of it is what I'm saying is on course. Yeah.
There was a marching order by the president that he should end insurgency and terrorism before the rainy season sets in. How far so far?
No, what Mr. President said is that we must bring down the level of violence in the country within a few weeks to enable our farmers to go back to the farms. That is on course. I believe that before the rains come, you would have witnessed a downward trend in the violence across the country. And I'm sure that you will attest to the fact that the heightening operational engagement has yielded positive results.
So what did the president tell you today?
Well, he's of course encouraging us to heighten the tempo of operation. He's satisfied with the way we've started, and he wants us to maintain the tempo and increase